In this video, I'm going to share 5 secrets to becoming a better line dancer or just a better dancer in general. My name is Brian B. Fun fact, I'm a 5-time superstar line dance world champion. I'm in the Country Dance Hall of Fame, and I started in a bar probably just like you. These are the things that were really revolutionary to me as a dancer that helped me become a lot better. So the first thing I want to talk about, we start with our feet on the floor. So let's just discuss our feet first. First thing I want you to do is take your feet, put them together, heels and toes, and then take your toes apart just a little bit and bend and straighten your legs. You'll notice, if I do this sideways, that this will feel pretty natural as my body moves. But do the same thing, heels and toes together, pull your heels apart, and now bend and straighten your legs. Already you can see my body looks funny, and it probably feels even worse. So the first thing in all of our rhythm type dances, unless we're talking about a waltz, we want to have a slight turnout to our feet. And what that does is let my body move more naturally, right? So that's the first thing you want to do is any step you take, if I'm triple stepping to the side, I have a slight turnout, triple stepping. If we do this from my back to the camera, I'm triple stepping to the side, I have a slight turnout, triple stepping to the other side. If I'm shuffling back, I have turnout to my feet. If I'm shuffling forward, I have turnout to my feet. Always a slight amount of turnout. I also want to focus on using the inside edge of my foot first. So instead of just plunking my foot to the ground where everything just kind of lands there, I want to focus with using the inside part of my foot. And if I do this with my back to you, you can see by using the inside part, my body will start to move a little bit more naturally, and you'll get some rhythm out of yourself. So first rule, feet are always going to have slight turnout. Rule kind of 2B is that I want to be working off the inside part of my foot most of the time. Number 2 is going to be what's called tracking. And here's a pop quiz for you. How many feet do you have? 2 feet. How many tracks do I dance in? Let's discuss it. So basic rule is I have 1 foot and it's on its own track. The second foot is it's on its own track. Now what's going to happen is you might look at me. If I dance 2 tracks like this, I'm going to look silly, right? If I dance this foot, bringing my foot, this is called tracing. I'm tracing my foot across the floor, and it's going to land on the same track that it was on. If you look carefully, if I took the turnout out of my feet, I'm on 2 tracks. What's cool about this is if I dance the 2 tracks with a slight turnout, if I dance in 2 tracks with a slight turnout, it's going to look like I'm on 1 track. So I'm going to be very lined up. So that's why it's kind of a trick question. How many feet? By the way, if you take dance lessons, people will say you dance in 1 track, you dance in 2 tracks, you dance in 3 tracks. I don't care. But as long as this foot is on its own track, you can call it whatever you want. Here's why that's bad. If I were to cross tracks, you can start to see my body starts to get stiff. Even if I cross tracks with turnout, I'm going to start to look stiff. So the second drill I want you to do is practice your tracking. So if I'm going to walk forward, and we're going to get into shuffles and rocks and all those things you're going to see in your dances, I want to walk to the diagonal part of the room. If I walk across myself, I'm going to be very stiff in my body. If I rotate my foot with this tracking, now I can dance to that corner in my 2 tracks and my body's lined up and comfortable. Now I'm going to go to this corner of the room. I'm going to track my foot underneath me and swivel my foot to go to the new track. So I'm going to swivel my foot into the new track that I want to go into. So that's a great drill if I did it coming at the camera this way. If I go this way, shuffle, step, and this way, shuffle, step, it's very stiff feeling. If I swivel my feet with that turnout and I shuffle step, now my body can move however the heck it wants to move. I swivel and I dance in 2 tracks. Now let's talk about our triple steps. Another pop quiz for you. How many steps in a triple step? Triple step, 3 steps. How many beats of music? 1 and 2. 2 beats of music. So in a triple step, we're fitting 3 steps into 2 beats of music. Here's how I want you to count it. If we we'll go this way. I'm going to shuffle, I go this side. I'm going to shuffle step to the side. 1 and 2, rock 3, 4, 5 and 6, rock 7, 8. But I'm going 1 and 2. If I divide the first beat up, 1 and, that's basically going half-half. So it's a half, half, and a whole. So think about your triple steps as half, half, whole, half, half, whole. So if I think about taking a whole step to a whole beat of music, one whole beat, one step. What if it's a half? It's probably going to need to be smaller. Half, half, whole, half, half, whole. So on your triple steps, here's what happens. We get excited to move. I get excited to move. I go 1 and 2. And I never actually close my feet. 1 and 2. Watch around all your line dance friends. People aren't closing their feet on the triple. And you should close your feet. Triple step. So I'm bringing my feet together. And I'm going to accomplish that by being smaller on the first part of the triple. So I can accent the step. Triple beat. Triple beat. I want to accent the step. And I'm going to do that by shortening my triples. So now let's go forward and back triples. This is in every line dance. We go shuffle right, step, half turn, shuffle left, step, half turn. Again, for your shuffles, a bunch of different ways you can do to style it. I'm going to give you a rule that's going to help no matter how you want to style it. The rule is this. We know we're in 2 tracks. I know I need to bring my feet together. You can bring your feet together in step. You can tuck this behind what they might call is a lock step. This, by the way, is not a lock step. This is just a good way to lock yourself up. People get confused. Here's the rule. I'm going to go forward in my shuffle. I can put this foot anywhere I want, provided my toe points towards where my heel would be. Meaning, if I turn this in this way, it's not pointing. You might call this a lock step. Your body is going to be locked up as doing it. Emily behind the camera has a sour look on her face. So even if I tuck this behind in a lock step, I want my toe facing my heel. That way, as I move forward, my body can move however the heck you want it to move. So back to our shuffle rock drill. We shuffle to the right, step, half turn, shuffle to the left, step, half turn. Now let's talk about the step, half turns. This was revolutionary for me in helping me look sharp and expressing the music how I wanted to, rather than letting it just happen. I'm going to do this with my back to the camera so you can see. So we do the shuffle to the right. Now, the 2 tracks thing, we have to violate this a little bit. If I step on the same track that this leg was on, and I do my half turn, I'm crisscrossed up. Now this foot has to come around as I triple, and I step on the same track, and I'm crossed up, and I'm not even very balanced. So here's what you're going to have to do. This is really cool. I think it's cool. I shuffle to the right, shuffle right. Now this step, as I take it across, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this foot to the other side. Notice how small that step is. It's not very big. I'm going to place it to the other side, so when I do my step and my turn, I'm back to 2 tracks. Now this side of my body can move freely. Shuffle to the left, I step across myself slightly to my turn. So now if I do it sideways, you can kind of see, instead of this is what happens. Shuffle, step, and we kind of go around the corner, shuffle, step, and we just go around the corner. Now I have the ability to step and snap my turns. Shuffle, step, step, and snap my turns. This is going to lead into, before we get into the 5th thing, which is your spins and turns, anytime I'm stepping on a foot, as a basic rule, that side of my body goes with it. We're going to get into this where we talk about posture, but if I'm shuffling to the right, I want my right side, or my rib cage. A good way to think of this is a dancer, your leg goes from the floor in your foot up to your rib cage. So if I'm shuffling right foot, I want my right side over the top of it. But here's where I'm going to violate that for the turn. I'm going to step in contra body. Very fancy term, contra body. Here's how contra body works. When we walk, our arms work opposite of our legs. It's not, we don't walk like this, right? We walk swinging our arms opposite to our body. So we're going to use that in our step half turn. We go shuffle to the right, right side's ahead. Now I'm going to step in contra as I step across. So now it's my right side is forward, my left leg is forward, step, now look what I have. I have all this energy for my turn. Now, key, when I land, I want to finish on my right side. So I do this way, shuffle left foot, step across in contra, and turn. And I want to make sure I'm same side, same foot. Shuffle to the right, step and turn. Shuffle to the left, step and turn. Bingo. So now let's talk about our spins and turns. And this is where we have to talk about posture. And I could have bored you by talking about posture earlier. Everyone always hears it. But it's important in our spins and turns. Here's what I want you to think about. We have our body blocks. This is a block of weight. This is a block of weight. This is a block of weight. This is the fourth block of weight. When I'm on my left foot, we've talked about this before, I want my rib cage over preferably the ball of my foot because that's where I have my balance. The other thing I really need to think about is my head being on top of that. Why? Because if my head's not, I'm now much wider. And now when I spin, I've got weight all over the place. I got my head over here, my bum has to counterbalance it, and everything's off balance. What'll happen is you'll get good at being off balance. You'll see this in the bar all the time, especially the guys. Head's all a mess. But if you want to be faster and more efficient with your turns, my head is over my rib cage, which is over my hip, which is over preferably the ball of my foot. Now when I want to turn, everything's lined up. If it's not lined up, now watch what happens. My bum is going around this way and my head's going around this way, and it's difficult to find a balance point, right? Right now the balance point's between my feet. If I have good posture, I can just close my feet and step back out. So here's a good application. If I did a vine to the right and a vine to the left, and we're going to talk about the vines in a second, but I wanted to do a rolling vine or a spin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with good posture, 6, 7, 8. If I did it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All good posture, 6, 7, 8. But let's go back and see if you can put some of the pieces together. In this grapevine, if I go to the right, I dance side. I want to dance behind, but remember the rule that my toe can't be over here. So I can step behind as long as my toe faces that foot. Now my body is moving more naturally, side behind. So maybe even this foot swivels to get behind, right? Side and this foot swivels to get behind. Now I can dance all sorts of different styles in my grapevine. But now we're going to take it with our turn, step, turn, step. So I would recommend that you really focus on the posture as you enter those turns, but it's good habit to keep it that way the whole time. That doesn't mean that we can't get down and dirty, but it's still with good posture. Now, if you want to expand your dance knowledge more, we've got a membership site. You can get a free membership, no credit card required, just create a login. I've got tons of technique tip videos on all sorts of different styles. If you're into country swing, two-step, West Coast swing, all the ballroom stuff, it's all right there. And if you want to see my favorite all-time easy baby line dance, we'll put that over here too. See you on the dance floor.